Hello everyone. So now we are going to do the lab. Yesterday we learned BGP attributes. So first we are going to do the BGP Weight Attribute Lab. So we are going to use this scenario for BGP Attribute Lab. What is the scenario here? We have one router here. We are using AS1. Here we have the two router. Both are in the AS2. So we will connect this two router and we will connect. We are going to play here. We are going to check what route we are getting and how we can manipulate. Example, I use R1, R2, R3 and this is a 2.2.2 is a loopback I created. Imagine this is a maybe internet or any server. You are getting this network in the R1 from this side, that is a 12.2, and also from the 13.2, because this same network is available with the R2 and also R3. What I want to say, I am saying that one, imagine we are in the R1. We are here in the R1 and we are getting the 2.2.2 network from R2 and also R3. So which one our router is going to prefer? By default, he will check first weight, all are having the same weight, then he will check the next attribute. They will check, at last they will compare the router ID. Whoever is having the low router ID, that he is going to prefer. So this will be the router ID or this will be the router ID. This router ID for here, this router ID for this router. So they are going to check the router ID at last. We are going to see that one. And then we are going to manipulate by using the weight attribute. Okay, so configuration is very simple. Here scenario I wrote already. Today I am going to share these notes also, so you can study also. Here the above we have the simple scenario with the two autonomous system. R2, R3 we have the 2.2.2.0 network. Configure as a loopback. So this 2 dot network we have in the AS2 from R2 and R3 also. So when we configure this all, we are going to get this when we write show IP BGP in the R1, what we are going to get? We are going to get this route. If you see this one, we are going to get 2.2.2 network from 13.3 and also from 12.2. Who is 13.3? Let me show you. This is a 13.3 and 12.2. From both this router we are going to get. Imagine this is your head office. This is your head office. This is ISP1 and this is ISP2. And imagine this is a YouTube server. So you are getting the YouTube server, what we can say, route from here also and here also. And you configure the BGP. So BGP, from BGP you are getting this route. So which one our router is going to select? Our router is going to check the attribute, and which attribute is matched, depending upon that one he is going to select that one. So first they will select the weight. If you see here, let me show you. First they will select the weight. This also having the 0, this also having the 0. Then they will check the local preference, they will check the metric, they will check the path, AS path. At last they will check the router ID, neighbor router ID. So this is the last one compared to this. That's why he put star and greater than symbol. If you see, star means valid, greater than means best. So he selected this one. Let me show you attribute, the one what we discussed in our previous class. So you will remember what I am saying here. Let me move that. So this is the attribute what we discussed in our previous class. If you see here, first they will check the weight, then they will check the local preference, then originate local, AS path, origin code, and then MEDU. They will check all this. If it is not matched, at last they will check the router ID and then neighbor IP address. So whoever neighbor IP address is low, they are going to prefer that one. So in our case, when we did not configure any attribute, they are looking this one. At last they are tie up with this one. Whoever the neighbor is having the low IP address, he is going to select that one. Or they will check the router ID. If router ID is matched, then they will look this one. So if you see, we have here this scenario. So we will do this lab, so you will have more idea. And then example, by default, when we configure, we are getting this 2.2 root from the ISP2. Imagine you are getting this root from the ISP2. This is the ISP1, this one, and this is the ISP2. You are getting this root from the ISP1. And your manager told we need to get this root from here. So we cannot do anything here, right? We cannot do anything here, so we need to manipulate. How we can manipulate? We will increase the weight. We will increase the weight. When we increase the weight, automatically he will check wherever we have the high weight, he will take that route. So how we will increase? We will apply the policy map. We are going to apply the route map. If you see here what I done, first we check we are getting from where? We are getting show IP route. We are getting from 192.168.12.2. Okay, so what we done? We apply the weight. We apply the weight. Where we apply? In the R1, because these two are the ISP router, R2, R3. So we cannot do in the ISP router. We can do in our router. So what we done? We apply the weight to this neighbor. So when we apply the weight, after that we will do clear IP OSPF. When we do clear IP OSPF, then this will move to 13.3. This way we can do. But here we have one more problem. Example, if we have one more network to 22.22.22.22 in R2 and R3, then this network is also going to prefer. If you see here, we apply the weight. Where we apply the weight? We apply the weight for this 2.2.2 500. But it is by default, it is applied to 22 also. If you have more route, it will apply. Means he is going to select only 13.3 network, not the 12.2. But your manager told, example, your manager told this route 22 should come from 13, 2.2 should come from 12. So what we can do? In that scenario, we will create the route map. So what we will do? First we will remove the weight what we apply. After that, first we will select the traffic, which one we need. How we will select? We will use the axis list. Axis list 1 permit. Whatever traffic we want to select, we select. Then what we will do? We will create route map, and we can give any name here. Route map name, any name, ABC. Then we will say permit, and we need to give the sequence number. We can give 10, 20, 30, any number. So I will give 10. Here what I will say? Match IP address 1. So I am saying match this IP address, whatever IP address I selected in this axis list 1. If it is matched, then set the weight as a 500. And then exit. Again I will create the route map, same this one only, with the permit 20. So I am using the here number as a 10, here I am using 20. This is a sequence number. First it will execute 10, then it will go for 20. Why I am not using 11? I can use 11 also here, but I am keeping as a 10 gap. If we want to add some more policy later, so we can add. We can say route map set weight permit 11 to 12 13, like this we can define the other policies. So for that purpose, generally we will give the difference. So in the 20, what I am saying here set the weight 0. Here I am saying if the traffic is matched with the access list 1, then apply the 500. If it is not matched with any access list, then apply the weight 0. Exit. So by doing this one, automatically only for this traffic weight will apply as a 500, other traffic weight will not apply. And when we created this one, we need to go inside the BGP. We need to write router BGP1, then we need to write neighbor. Which neighbor we need to apply? That neighbor IP address. After that, route map, and whatever the name we created for the route map, and traffic is going inside our router. This is R1, traffic is coming inside, so we will write in. When we apply this one, we will clear the BGP. After that, we will check. So when we check, if you see, this 500 will apply to only this 22.22.22.0. If you see star and greater than symbol with the 500. For the other one, if you see 2.2.2, it is selected by 12.2. If you see this one, this is valid and the best route. This is also valid and the best route. So one we are getting from 12.2 network, another route we are getting from 13.3. We are getting all routes. We are getting the routes from all. means we are getting this 2.2 from 13.3 also, 12.2 also. This 22 also we are getting from 13.3 also, 12.2. But our manager told we should, our route, our traffic will go from, if our traffic want to go to 22.22.22, that should go through 13.3. And if other traffic, that should go with 12.2. So what we done, just we apply the weight. This is a weight. We apply the weight to the 22.2 for this ISP 13.3. So all this traffic 22.2 will go from 13.3. Remaining will be 12.2. And if you see, this is a star and greater than symbol. Star and greater than symbol means this is a valid and the best route. So our traffic is going to use this one. So this is a scenario. Now we are going to do the lab, so you will have more idea. Okay, this is just I give the explanation. Now we are going to do the lab. It will take some time, but no problem. This concept is very important, so we will do this lab and we will design this topology. Okay, what I explained just now, this is our headquarter. Imagine this is a ISP1 and ISP2, and we connected. This route we are getting from this side like this, and also from this side. But in our routing table, this route will come because BGP will not do the load balancing. He will take only one. They are going to decide depending upon the attribute. So we told, okay, I will set the weight as 500. So we use the normal method to set the weight as a 500. So we set for this neighbor. When we set for this neighbor, all the route whatever is we are getting from this neighbor, all that route will get by default 500. So we don't need that one. Our manager told 2.2 traffic should come from the ISP1, but 22.22.22.0 traffic should come from the ISP2. So in that scenario, what we done, we make the route map. This is a policy, like a policy applying the policy. Okay, this is only nothing but policy. What we will do, we will create the route map or the policy map we will use, and with the help of that one we will apply and we will make the modification in the BGP. That's why we are saying we can play with the BGP, we can change, we can manipulate the traffic with the help of BGP. So BGP is only the one routing protocol. With that one we can manipulate. In OSPF EHRP we don't have this much attributes to play with the routing protocol. Here we can play, we can increase, we can decrease, we can create route map. With the route map we will say this is having the high weight, this is having low weight for one network only, for two network only, like that we can do. Okay, so let's do the lab so you will have more idea. So what I will do, I will take the GNS3 or EVNG, I can use any one. So let me do in the GNS3 this lab. So the scenario is simple. We are using one head office and two branch office or two ISP. We can imagine two ISP. Okay. So ISP will be ISP1, ISP2 we can imagine. So let me check this open already. Okay. So VMware, I will give the name same as we have here. BGP, I think I have this lab already, or let me try BGP Weight Attribute Lab. Let me create a new lab with this name, and still it is loading, so I need to wait some time. This GNS will open, so we will wait few seconds. After that we can create the lab. Yeah, now it is open. Okay, now we will have the blue screen and there it is written okay. After that we can start using the, when we get this okay, we can minimize and we can start here. So I create the empty dashboard. Now we are going to create. So I will use this router C7200. I will use this 3. Okay, same model router I am using 3 here. You can use any router, but in our scenario I am using this one. Let me make little big and then we will keep here. So now we can take any scenario, but this is easy to understand, that's why I am using this way. Now what I will do, I will put some color here. Let me put some color here, this box. Okay, delete, and let me create the new one. This one. Let me use this box. Just I want to bring this to router inside this box. Anyhow, if we have issue, no need to take that one. Before it is working perfectly, just we need to draw like this and drag, so it will become big. But now some issue with this box. Anyhow, no need to take this box. Now I will connect this. This is the R1, fast Ethernet 0x0 to fast Ethernet 0x0, and then this is a fast Ethernet 1x0 to fast Ethernet 1x0. So let me move the interface here, this here and this here, and we can connect in between also here. So I will take this cable, I will connect from fast Ethernet 1x0 to fast Ethernet 0x0. Okay, so these two here, these two here, and this is here. Our wish, if you want to use the common interface, then we can use common also. Like here I will use 2x0, here also I will use 2x0. Just for configuration purpose it will be easy. We can use any interface, no problem. So this is the interface we are going to use. And now we can say this one is a AS number 1 here, this side. I will take this as a AS1, and this side AS2, AS2. And let me start the router so it will boot up. And this is our scenario we are going to do now. And I will take IP schema. What we can give here, we can give here 192.168.12.0/24, this IP schema, and here will be 13. We can use any IP, but I am using as per the router. This is a 1 and this is a 3, that's why I am saying 13.0, and this is a 12.0. And now I will create one more here because we are connecting these two router. So this will be R2 and R3, so 23. So I will make this as a 23.0. Okay, so this way we use the IP schema, and AS we use. Now we can put the loopback also. I will put here loopback. I can give this loopback 0. I can use any loopback 0 or 1, our wish. 2.2.2.2./24. Okay, and I will use the same loopback here also. So we are getting the same loopback from two router, R2 and R3. This is the IP schema. This lab we are going to do now. And the IP here will be .1 for this, and this also. Here will be .2, here will be .3, whatever IP we are using. So this is our topology. Let me make little zoom. I hope this is clear now. If we get any here, what we can say box, we can put here. Let me try. I think we can rotate also this one. There is option to rotate before. Yeah, so let me take like this way. So I will click here, lower on ray. So now this one we can say this is a AS number 2 in this one. If you want to change the color, we can change also here. Like this way we can say. So if I want to change style, I can change here. Whatever color I want to put, I can select that one. So this is our AS2. These both are in the IBGP, this is in the EBGP, because here is AS1 and here is AS2. Okay, so now let's start the configuration. I will take the notepad. This is the lab. I will write the name here. I will write name. I think I have copy. This is a BGP Weight Attribute Lab. So now I will start the configuration. First we will do the configuration for the R1. Configuration is very simple. I will write here R1 configuration. Same thing as we do before. Enable config T, then host name, and assign the IP address. Host name R1, and then we will do interface F0 by 0, IP address 192.168.12.1, 255.255.255.0, and then no shut. And here we don't have any loopback, right? Here we don't have any loopback, just we have two interface, so we need to assign that to interface only. So let me copy this whole thing from here and I will paste here, and this will be F1 by 0, so I will make this as a F1 by 0. This will be 13, so I will make this 13.1, 13.1 this side, 12.1 will be this side. This is a 2 IP, just we assign the IP address. I will divide this page, and now let me do the configuration for R2. So I will write here R2, and in the R2 what we have, this should be R2, this should be R2, and this should be F0 by 0, this should be 2, okay, and this should be this one F2 by 0, because this one is connected here. So F2 by 0, I will make this F2 by 0, and what IP here, 23.2, 23, and this is a R2, so this should be 2, okay, 23.2. so we assign here 2 IP, and we have one loopback, so let me create the loopback also. So I will go here, interface loopback 0, IP address, what I give 2.2.2.2, 255.255.255.0, because I am using /24. So this is a R2 configuration. What configuration? Just assigning the IP address. Now I will copy the R2 configuration, I will paste here, and we will modify. So what we will do here, this is a R3, and here also R3. If you see, we have the fast Ethernet 1 by, this one I will make 1 by 0, this side will be 13.3, okay, this interface I am saying fast Ethernet 1 by 0, 13.3, because this router is 3, and fast Ethernet 2 by 0, this should be 23.3, so this should be 23.3, and we have the loopback here also, so this remains same. Okay, this is a configuration for the R1, R2, R3, basic configuration. Let me paste this configuration. First I will paste the IP address in the all 3 routers. So this is the R1. I will take the console of R1, and also let me take the console of R2 also. Let me paste the configuration in the R1. Okay, R1 is good. I will take the console of R2, and also in the R2 we can paste the configuration of R2. So I will take, this is a R2, I will go in the R2 and I will paste this configuration in R2, and then I will take the console of R3 also. Let me take the console of R3, and I will copy the R3 configuration. So this is the R3 configuration, and here we can paste, this is a R3 configuration. Okay, now we need to do the BGP configuration. This is the basic, just we assign the IP address here. So now we need to look the BGP. So here how we will do the BGP, we will write router BGP and our AS. Our AS is this one. Okay, first we need to write router BGP AS, then we need to write the neighbor. Okay, neighbor, I need to write neighbor, and who is my neighbor? This one is my neighbor, this one also my neighbor, both are my neighbor. Okay, what I am saying, I am standing here, I am saying this is my neighbor, this is also my neighbor. So this should be 12.2 and 13.3 will be my neighbor. So I will use that one. So what I will do here, neighbor 192.168.12.2. 12.2 is my neighbor, and then we need to write remote AS. So I will write remote AS. What is AS here? If you see this 2, so I will write 2. I will copy the same like this one more time and I will paste here, and my other neighbor is 13.3. if you see, this is my another neighbor 192.168.13.3, and AS remains same. After that I need to advertise my network, but I don't have any network, so no need to advertise anything. Okay, this is the BGP configuration in the R1. Now we will go for R2, or let me paste this in the R1. I will copy. This is a basic configuration. This is a eBGP. This is a eBGP. Okay, just we are doing the configuration directly interface, whatever interface directly connected to us. We are not doing loopback. Okay, so now I will go this in the R1. This is the R1, and I will exit here and I will paste in the R1, and I will press enter. So this is okay in the R1. Now we will go in the R2. I need to write here, so let me copy this. We will modify here. I will copy, I will paste in the R2. So now I am standing here, so I will write BGP 2 because my AS is 2 and this is my neighbor. So my neighbor is 12.1. So I will write this 12.1, and remote AS is 1. This is my neighbor. I will delete this. I am standing here. I am saying what I am saying. This is my neighbor. I am saying this is my neighbor, and my neighbor IP is 192.168.12.0, that is 12.1, and the remote AS I am giving as a 1. Okay, and after that I have one more neighbor. Let me show you. Now I am standing here. This is my neighbor, and also this is my neighbor. I have two neighbor. So what I will do, I need to define again. I will say 23.3 is my neighbor. So I will copy the same thing here. I will write 23.3 and AS will be 2. Okay, so I will do that one. After that I need to advertise this one also with the network command. So let's do that one. So what I will do, I will copy this whole thing from here to here. I will paste, and my another neighbor is 23.3. So let me remove this, and our AS is same AS, so I will write 2, and then I want to advertise my network. I have 2.2.2.2. so what I will do, I will write network and then network ID 2.2.2.0. then we will write the mask, and we will write the mask, subnet mask 255.0. So with this way, what we done, we advertise our network. I am in the R2. I am saying I have two neighbor. One neighbor AS is 1, another neighbor AS is 2. Okay, this is a R1 R2 configuration. I hope this is clear. Just I will copy and we will paste in the R2. So now I will go in the R2. I will exit this. If the screen is small, now I can paste here. Okay, so R2 is okay. Now we need to configure for R3. So let me copy this. We will modify. I will paste in the R3 here, and here BGP 2 only, and my neighbor is 13.1. this one 13.1. so I will change. This is a 13.1. remote AS is 1. So this remains same. Now we need to check neighbor, this one 23.2, because my router is having this whatever IP .2, because R2 I am using the router number. So this is 23.0, 23.2. remote AS is 2, because same AS, both are using same AS. And this one I need to advertise, so here I advertise. So this is only the configuration for the R3. Okay, this is a R3 configuration. Now I can paste this in the R3. So let me copy and I will take the R3 console and I will paste this in the R3. I will exit and I will go down and then I will paste here. Okay, here we have some issue, nothing, right? Okay, so everything is good here. Now we can check in the R1. I can go in the R1. I can check. How we will check? We will write show IP BGP. When I write show IP BGP, I am getting from where? I am getting from 192.168.12.2. After some time we will have other also, because still neighborship not formed from here, so it will take some time. After that it will come. Okay, so wait, we will get here to root. After some time we will have to root from 2 place, we will get this one. Okay, we need to wait some time because BGP is a slow protocol. Here this go up, but here still we have issue, or maybe we done some issue, some what we can say misconfiguration. Let me cross check. We are here.
No shut.
Where this one? Okay. Yeah, thank you. We forget to write no shut here. Some more interface also here. Also we forget to write no shut. So let me write no shut. And I think here, okay, this one no shut, no shut. Here is no shut. Here is no shut. Okay. Yeah, okay. So we need to go in R2 and R3. So let me write here show IP interface brief. So which interface is down here? We are using this interface. So this is up and this is up, right? Just now we make changes here. This F2 by 0. So this one is down. If you see, this is down, so we will make this up. So what I will do, I will just select this one and write config T and then right click, mouse right click, it will come, and write interface we need to write, and then right click, it will come, and then write no shut. So I make this interface up. Here also we have some down, so I will write do show IP interface brief. Here also one, which one is down? This one is down, so I will select this, then I will type here exit and then interface. I will paste this. Let me select and I will paste. Why it is not going? Interface. Let me type if we have issue fast Ethernet 2 by 0 and then no shut. So now it will go up and we will have the neighborship also. Here also we have the neighborship. So what I can do, I can go in the R1 and now we can check here. Now we have the 2 root. If you see, we are getting the network 2.2.2.0 from where I am getting from 13.3 and also I am getting from 12.2. From both place I am getting, but my router is selecting, the BGP is selecting this one. How I know which one is selecting? Star greater than symbol. If you see, star means valid and greater than symbol means best. So this root is going to install. Show IP root BGP. If you see, this root install in the routing table. The best one is going to install. I am having this both information, but which one is the best? That root is going to our routing table. B means BGP. B stands for BGP. If you see here where we have B, this one, B is nothing but BGP. So this root go in the BGP. Now we will say why this one is going. Why this one is going? Why not this one? So they check the weight. Weight is equal. They check the local preference. They check the all attribute. They check. At last they compare this ID. If you see what is the router ID, we will write show IP BGP summary. We can get the router ID here. This is the router ID. Okay, 13.1, our router ID. This guy router ID we will check. We will write show IP BGP summary. So if I check here what is the router ID, they taken the router ID, this one 2.2.2. So they are checking here they are checking the neighbor IP. However neighbor IP is a low, he is going to take that one. So this one here, if we see, this is a 12.2. 12.2 is a low neighbor ID. So now what we can do, we can increase the weight. Example, your manager told you to make this one as a best route. So how we can do? We can increase the weight. We can increase the weight to make that one as a best route. So how we can do? We have one command. Let me show you. We will go in the configuration, config T, and then we will write router BGP1, and then we will write neighbor. Which neighbor your manager told? 13. So 192.168.13.3. Then we will write weight, and whatever weight we want to apply, we can apply. And then we can do the clear IP BGP star, and we can write soft. So with this one, it is going to reset the BGP, and we can check show IP BGP. So if you see this move, this star and the greater than symbol move to 13.3. Before it is 12.2, but now it is moved to 13.3. So this way we can manipulate. But the problem here, example, you are looking only one route, but now imagine you have two route, one more route, 22. I will go here in the what I can say, here we have some issue. If you see here, BGP identifier wrong. So something in the R2 what we are getting, something misconfigured. Let's check in the R2 fast Ethernet 192.16.12.2 no shut, and this one 23.2 no shut, and this is a loopback, and here we advertise. Okay, this is our neighbor IP is 12.1, AS is 1, and this is the 23.3. Here if you observe, we are in the R2, so this is the correct, and we are applying our only 2.2.2.0 and the mask 255. So this one we are getting, what we are getting here, 20.3. So something wrong for the third router. So let's see here what we done here. Here 13.3 is our IP. We can see this topology. This is our topology. This one 192.168 13.3. So this will be 13.3, and this will be 23.3, and we have the loopback 2.2.2. okay, and this is okay, and then we have router BGP2, and we are writing 13.1. This is my neighbor, AS is 1, and then I am writing 23.2. this is 23.2, and this is my neighbor, remote AS is 2, and this is the network command. We advertise 2.2.2.0, mask is 255.255.0. so this is correct only. Something we are getting here, let's see what we are getting. Neighbor 23.2 active 2/3 BGP identifier wrong. So router ID is having some issue. Okay, if you see here, we keep the loop back here, right? This is a loop back we created here, and also we created here. So they taken the router ID, both are taken same router ID, that's why we have the issue. So manually we can assign also. Okay, manually we can change the router ID, that's why we are getting the issue. Did you understand why we are having this notification? Because we have the same router ID. Let me show you. I will write here do show IP BGP summary. I am doing in the R3. If you see, this is the router ID. What we have 2.2.2 in the R2. Now I will go in the R3. I will write here show BGP summary. What you have here also router ID is 2.2.2. We cannot keep the same router ID to other router. Same name we cannot keep for the two brothers. Same thing, we have this issue. So now what we can do? We can change that router ID. We can write router BGP. This is a BGP2, right? Then router ID. Let me check here. Router ID I can give here. What I can give? Let me give as a. This is the router 3, right? So I will give 3.3.3.3. Okay. Let me check what we are getting here. Router BGP 2. Router BGP 2. and then we need to define the router ID. Let me see here. Here the logs are coming, we cannot observe. Let me see here. I need to change the router ID here. I need to assign the router ID. So how I can assign? Same thing as we do in the OSPF or EIGRP. Exit, or temporary, what I will do, let me make the interface loopback 0 shut. I will make this interface done, so it will stop, and then we will change the router ID. Okay, so now what I will do, I will go in the router BGP, I will use this one, and then I need to define the router ID. So here router ID, let me check the command how I can define. Again it is giving, let me check here. Let me make this interface also done. Interface loopback 0, I will make shutdown. Okay, so now it will stop from both sides. Do show IP interface brief, loopback 0 is done now. Okay, so now we need to check how we can assign the router ID. Router BGP 2, and there is command, I forget that command. Let me check. Router ID, it is not taking, something wrong here. Let me check here. In our notes I put the command, I forget that one. Here is starting how we can change the router ID somewhere here. So BGP we define here directly. Or instead of checking here, let me check in Google. There is one command I did not remember now. How to assign BGP router ID. There is some command, let me check here. Set path replace. They are using the route map, not, I don't need that one. Let me check here. Yeah, this one. First we need to write BGP. Okay, I forget that one. I am writing directly that one. First I will write BGP, then router ID. Let me write here like this. BGP router ID, where is that one? So many things are coming here, we cannot see. Let me write BGP router ID. This is the 3, so I will write 3.3.3.3. Okay, so this way I put the router ID 33 here. I will make now interface loopback 0 no shut. Okay, now here is 2, so no need to worry, 2 will be remain 2. I will check here, show IP BGP summary. So here our router ID is 2.2.2, but here if you see here I change. So let me write do show IP BGP summary. If you see here we change the router ID as a 3.3. How we change? Let me write here somewhere so you can revise. Here BGP router id and 3.3.3, this command. Generally for the OSPF we will not write the BGP, directly we will write this command. That's why I am getting the error. But for BGP we need to write this one to change the router ID. Okay, so now I done. Now everything is good, no error, nothing. Before we are getting the notification, but now everything is okay. So here let's check. First of all I will check show IP BGP. We are getting the route. Okay, this is normal. Okay, this is the route we are getting. This same route we are getting from the two different places. One is 12.2, one is 13.2. Okay, one is 12.2, one is 13.2. And if you see this one, we set the weight. We set the weight saying that I should get the route from 13.3, but by default it will come from the 12.2 because the neighbor IP address. He will check the neighbor, whoever is having the low IP address, that he is going to prefer by default BGP. But here as per our manager we increase this one, so now we have this one selected as a best. But now we will have the another new problem. What new problem? Your manager told you to increase, you increase, but the problem here, before let me explain. I am here, I am getting this route, best route from this site. My manager told I should get from this site, so what I done, I increase the weight for this one. I go inside the R1, I increase the weight here. I increase the weight here. So this is okay. I am happy I am getting this as a best. But now later we have one more interface here. Example loopback 1, 22.22.22.22. And here also I have loopback 1. I am writing 22.22.22.22. Your manager did not tell you anything, but when they configure this one, you are getting here along with this one, you are getting this one also, but with the from this network only. Later your manager told you for 2.2.2 only get from this network, from this ISP, but the 22 should come from here, but 2.2 should come from here. So you will have the issue. That time we will use the route map. Let me add and show you. So what I will do, I will add new interface here, I will add new interface here, and then we will see from where we are getting this one. Okay, so what I will do here now, I will add the new interface. So before adding the new interface, let me set the router ID also here, because it will take 22 router ID. If we did not set, no issue, even if it is taking 22, but anyhow let me do this router ID configuration for the R2 also. So I will copy this one, I will go here in the R2 and I will put this is a router ID will be 2.2.2.2. Let me change this in the R2. First time I am doing this one. This is optional. Even if I did not change, no problem. I will get the new router ID when I add the one more loop back with the highest IP. For that purpose I done this one. Now what our manager told, our manager did not told, but imagine ISP is having one more route here. What route he is having? He is having this one loopback 1, and he is having 22. Here also 22, here also 22, here also 22. Means he is having one more route, this one. This is a new route. You have both sides. So if you have this one, then we will see from which ISP it is coming to us as a best. So what I will do, I will go to the R2, I will create the interface loopback 1 and I will assign the IP address 22.22.22.22 and then 255.255.255.0. okay, just I created the loopback. So let me put here somewhere here, I will put here, okay, here I will create interface loopback 1 and then I will give IP address 22.22.22.22 and I will give 255.255.255.0. this one I created, and here I will put also, I will advertise this also in the what I can say in the BGP also. Okay, and same thing I will do for the R3 also. I will create this in the R3 also. Now I created this in the R3 and I will advertise in R3 also. So I will take this command here also, this one, Okay, so now let's do here. I create it in R2, so now I need to advertise in the BGP, so I will write router BGP2 and then I will paste this command. I will advertise in the BGP in R2, and here also I will write here interface loopback 1 IP address 22.22.22.22.255.255.255.0, and then we will advertise in the BGP router BGP2 and then we will put this command. So now we advertise in the BGP. Now we will do clear IP BGP star. When we do BGP star, it is a hard reset. If you want to do the soft reset, we can do soft reset also. Just we need to write the soft. Let me show you. Show IP BGP star and then I will write soft. So it will do show IP BGP. Just now I show star show IP BGP star and we have soft. It's not taking. Anyhow, let me do the hard reset. Show IP BGP star. Not show, clear. Sorry, clear IP BGP star soft. Okay, so it will not go linked on, it will softly, they will reset. So here I will write clear IP BGP star soft. So I clear in R1, R2 and R3. Now if you check in the R1, what we will have? Show IP BGP. If you see, now we have the 22 also. Before we don't have 22, but now we have the 22. What we observe here, 22 is also coming best from 13.3. Okay, and if you see here, you have the weight, but you did not assign the weight to 22. You assign for this neighbor. Before you are thinking this 2.2.2 should come from where? From 13.3. That's why what you told neighbor, I will put this neighbor as a weight 500. But now you will face the issue. If you have some more neighbor, all neighbor will assign the same weight. Means all the prefix, not the neighbor. You are assigning the weight to this neighbor. But whatever prefix, whatever the root this neighbor is giving, that will have automatically the weight. That is the problem. Okay, this one. You assign only this neighbor, but when we add this root to that neighbor, this weight is assigned here. And now what we can see by reading this one, I can say I am getting this 2.2.2 from 12.2 and also 13.3, but the best one is from the 13.3. And also I can say I can get this 13.3, this 22 also I am getting from 13.3 and also 12.2. But the best will be 13.3. Imagine your manager told, okay, this is the best, okay, let it be keep like this. But I need this 2.2.2 should come from 12, not from the 13. If you see star and greater than, if nothing is written here, means this one only. Whatever we have up here, that is only present here. If nothing is mentioned here, means same thing. So I am getting here 2.2.2 network, that is greater than, star and greater than means best, from 13.3. And also this 2.2.2 also I am getting star, that is star and greater than means best, from where? 13.3. But your manager told, okay, keep this 22 dot network coming best from this one 13.3, but I need this 2.2 dot should go to here 12.2, means this one star greater than should move here. Okay, it should move to 12.2. So how we will do? So we will use the route map. For that purpose we are going to configure that. So I will show you what we can do. First of all, we need to remove. What we need to remove, we configure before route, that is the weight. So I will go here, router BGP1, and then I will write no and neighbor. Which neighbor we apply? We apply 192.168.13.3, right? And then we write the weight 500. So I will write the same command, just I will write no. So I will remove this one. If you want all the routes, whatever is coming from 13.3, that should be what we can say best and valid, I can apply this way. But if you need some route from that neighbor, some route from different neighbor, then I will not do this one. Okay, so I will write this in the configuration in the R1 here, somewhere here in the points, so you can remember. I will write point. Let me write here points, and here the first point, let me move here. I will say this one. Applying weight to, let me move this here. Applying weight to the neighbor 13.3. okay, and here just you can remember removing weight to neighbor 13.3. okay, so this command we use. Now what we will do, I remove, just now I remove, then I will write clear IP OSPF BGP star. If I do, link will go down and come up. okay, and if I write soft, then it will do soft reset. Now we can check. I remove that one, show IP BGP. If you see, now the weight is removed from here and all the best will go to 12.2. if you see, this is star and the greater than symbol is coming here for 2.2 is nothing but 12.2, and if you see here this one, this is also coming to 12.2, but your manager told this 22 network should come from 13.3 and 2.2 should come 12.2. so how we can do this one? We can use different method. We have the policy map, we have the route map, so we can use that one. So let me write here how we can apply. So we need to apply this in the R1. So I will write here heading. I can give here route. Let me write here route. I will write here route map. okay, route map. So this is a step, just you need to remember this is a syntax we are going to follow here. So how we can configure the route map means, first what I will do, I will create the axis list. I will select the traffic, which traffic I want to apply. So I will write axis list, and I can give any name, any number. So I will use number permit. I am saying permit to whom I need to permit 22.22.22.0 network ID, then wildcard mask 0.0.255. okay, this way I select the traffic. After that what I will do, I will write here route map, and I can give any name. I can give ABC or anything. So we are setting the weight, so I will write set weight because we are setting the weight, and we need to create permit and we need to give the sequence number. So I will say 10. So I am creating the route map. Route map name is set weight, and I am saying permit, and I am giving this sequence number 10. So it should execute first this one. okay, and then I will say match. After that match, what I need to match? IP address. okay, which IP address? The first one, means the axis list one IP address, match this one. If it is matched, then what he need to do? He need to set weight. How much? We can give any number. I will give 500, and then I will exit, and then again I need to create I need to define the second thing also. So same thing, route map set weight permit. I will give the sequence number 20. So first it will execute this one from here to here, then it will execute this one. So here I need to execute what I need to do. I need to write, if that IP is not matched, then set the weight to 0. okay, set the weight to 0, and then I need to write exit. So this is the route map, and just only writing is not enough. You need to apply also. We need to apply. Where we need to apply? In the neighbor. How we will apply? Let me show you here. We need to go inside the router BGP router BGP, this is a 1, right? BGP 1, router BGP 1, and then which neighbor we need to apply? We need to write neighbor, and what is the neighbor? 192.168.13.13.3, and here we need to apply, so we will write root map, and what is the map name? We give set weight, so we will write the name, same name, set weight, and in means traffic is coming to inside, coming in, that means in. If traffic is going out means we will apply out, so we will apply in. Now we can copy and paste in our router. Okay, same thing here. Let me move this here up, let me copy, and here if you see here, same thing. First we need to go to BGP, same thing here also. If you want to do, we need to go inside the BGP first. When we apply individual weight to the complete neighbor, go inside the router BGP 1, and then we will write neighbor and the whatever neighbor and directly weight. If we do this way, how many, whatever the prefix we are getting, whatever the route we are getting from this neighbor, all will get automatically 500. But we don't need that way. That's why what I done, I create the route map. This is another method. How we can do? First we will select the traffic, and then we will create the route map, any name we can give, and then permit, and we need to give the sequence number 10 first. And in the 10, what I am saying, if that I am saying that match IP address, so I am saying match this IP address, I will give this list number. This is 1 means 1. If it is match 1 1, then set the weight as a 500 and exit. Again I am calling the second sequence, that is sequence number 20. After first they will execute 10, then 20, then 30, like this in the sequence 1 2 3 4 5, like this sequence. And in the 20 they will check no IP, so whatever without IP, from the IP which is not in that list, for that IP he is going to apply the weight as a 0 and exit. And then we need to apply this, what we can say, route map. How we can apply? Go inside the router BGP 1, and then neighbor, which neighbor we need to apply this, write that neighbor and write the route map, and whatever name we use to create that route map, that name, and if the traffic is coming in, then we will write in. Okay, so now I will copy this whole thing and we will paste in the R1. So I will go in the R1 and I will paste here. Okay, now I apply. Now I need to clear. I can write clear IP BGP star, and I want to do soft reset, then I will write soft. And now I can check show IP BGP. If you see here, this one is this network, that is 2222. If you see, this is all here, nothing is written, means whatever is above written, that is same thing we have here. Okay, so if you see greater than and the star symbol, means this is a best and valid route coming from where? 13.3. okay, 13.3. we apply the weight here only for this one. We apply weight only for this one. That's why it is selected as a valid as well as best. But if you go for 2.2.2, this one star and greater than, where we have 12.2. So what we done? We done this way. Let me explain here. Here, what we done here, I am standing here. If I am getting the route 22, that will coming from this side. About the 2.2.2 will come from this side. So ISP1 will give us the route from 2.2.2. ISP2 will give for 22.22.22. Okay, so this way we can manipulate the traffic. We cannot do this in the OSPF or in the EIGRP. We cannot manipulate the traffic. We can only increase the cost like that, but not for the particular network. Here we play. We are having both network here also, 2.2.2 and also 22.22.22.22. But what we done, 22 routes are getting from here as a best and 2 routes are getting here as a best. If your manager told this is the ISP, all the network should come from here only, then directly apply the weight here to the neighbor this way. Let me show you directly this, the first method here. So with this one, whatever routes you will learn from this neighbor, all will have the best path because we put the weight. But your manager told like 22 should be from here and 2 should be from here, then we need to use the route map. This is a route map. Procedure is simple, just we need to create the access list and select the traffic, and after that we need to create the route map and permit, give the sequence number, and whatever you want to do that operation. I am saying match, what I need to match IP address. So this one, first list 1, whatever is present, match that one and set the weight to this one, and remaining set the weight to 0 and just apply that inside the neighbor. If you want to apply to the neighbor 12.2, upright 12.2, it will apply to 12.2. If you have more neighbor, wherever you want to apply, you can write that one. Okay, so you are not doing anything here. This is, imagine this is a ISP router, so you will not touch, you will play inside your router only. Okay, so this one is a first attribute, BGP weight. Configuration is very simple. Okay, just we have issue with the router ID. Let me show you where we have the issue with the router ID. So this is a command we use to set the router ID manually. If we want to set, if we did not set, automatically he is going to take. So what I will do, let me paste here also the manually. Here I did not set, so I can set as a 1.1.1 because we are not using, so manually we can set like this. Okay, so this is the first attribute. So let me stop the recording.